Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you're loving yourself and others like always. All right, today we are going to discuss this whole France saying its government is banning all African artists from entering France. Of course, it's something that was expected. Now, it is said that artists from Mali, from Burkina Faso, Niger, and other African colonies, former African colonies that had decided to cut off the hood of their colonial masters, all the artists from those countries are banned from entering France. There are a lot of Africans in France, all right, especially when you go towards the angle of football. We have a lot of Africans who are footballers and playing for the French government. So if you are saying that you're going to cut ties with artists, musicians, I hope it has to be with those who are also playing for the clubs in France as well. Because this is going beyond what we are imagining. These are countries in Alkebulan that are saying, no, we don't want you anymore. We are not bowing down to to all your commands anymore. We are not bowing down to what you want us to always bow down to. And then this is the reply that Macron knows best to give to these countries.
Very heavily on African programming or direction, have strongly denounced the ban, saying that they feel like their work is being held hostage to politics. It's kind of like when Europe and the West started canceling everything Russian last year because of the Ukraine conflict, artists, athletes, show dogs, and even vodka that sounded remotely Russian but was actually not. Or when the EU banned and censored Russian media platforms. For anyone who figured that it was just going to stop there, well, now it looks like Africans are the new Russians, at least for the French government, in the wake of being drop-kicked out of the Sahel region by the new management of various countries after several French stabilization missions were such a resounding success that they culminated in coups. So now they're just going to ban artists from these countries. And I've reached out to some organizations of artists and entertainers impacted by this move, and they've confirmed that earlier this week they received an email from the French government's General Directorates for Cultural Affairs, which was sent to performing arts organizations across the country and copied to the French Ministry of Culture. Now, keep in mind that the artistic entities that received this email are subsidized by the government that's ordering them to do this. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place. And the email went on to say that there cannot be any further cooperation with or financial support of any institutions or nationals of the listed African countries. And that as of now, France will not be issuing any visas to nationals of these countries until further notice. Now, since all of this has just completely blown up in the French press in the last few hours, the Ministry of Culture has issued a statement.
No deprogramming of artists of any nationality whatsoever has been requested either by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Ministry of Culture. For security reasons, since the 7th of August, France has suspended the issuance of visas from Niamey, Ouagadougou and Bamako, as well as the implementation in these countries of our cultural cooperation actions.
Now, the spokeswoman for the Entertainers Union, Sandeak, told me that it's one thing to now claim that the programming is maintained and not cancelled, but the reality is that many of these African artists don't have visas to come to France. So I guess the government expects programs and performances to go on without the physical presence of the artists involved. The artists' unions want a meeting with the government to explain these realities to them, to spell it out for them, I guess, like a toddler. Can't have a play without the people on the stage, brainiacs. If any bureaucrats were going to be capable of grasping that concept, you'd think that the culture ministry that wrote that response would have figured that out. That's something that you'd maybe expect from the big brains at Foreign Affairs, but not culture. Come on. The Sandeak Union also in its letter to the French government touched on the more general and counterproductive trend of politicizing things that should not be politicized. So all of this is far, far from resolved.
That is it, Your Majesties. I feel for the artists who are involved in this. All right, I feel for them because, of course, it's going to affect them big time. But the thing is, if the continents can hold on to their people at this point, all these countries right now who are agitating to pull out France, there should be measures provided for these artists who are involved directly with the French government, because there is no way you'll be fighting with me and you want me to still be smiling with you. And I wouldn't even want you to smile with me, or I wouldn't want to smile with you. Because of course, something is going on. This is a time of revolution for the continent. All right, the continent should be able to hold on to her people and nurture her people and the gift, all right, the gift of her people within the continent. They think they are doing us wrong, all right? Oh, we are holding them like this. So let's see if they are going to go back to their countries and begin to agitate, all right? Begin to insult the government so that the government will hold or maybe welcome the French government back. Let's see, but if pushing them this far will help us cause problem at home for them. These are tactics. These are tactics. And at this point in time, I'm just happy that the artists are understanding and then know that yes, because there is an issue with their government, so these people are acting this way. Because prior to this time, I think I saw one of them was talking, oh, they decided to ban us from this, they decided to avoid, no, I had the show here, I had the show there, and it's not coming up anymore. There's no access anymore. At this point, I don't even know who is even living in France right now that is African. If you're African or you are those of African descent, this is not the time to even live in France, because they are going to make your life a living hell. And this is why I keep talking about why we should remain in the continent and build our home. It's never easy. It's never easy. These people came here, took human resources, took natural resources, took everything and went there to build their countries. And that is why you see their country the way it is. There's no place that became so beautiful out of magic. There is hard work put in. If we don't want to put in hard work into our continent, who is going to put in the hard work for us? This is why I keep talking about, oh no, I do not support running away. And it was like, maybe I was crazy at that time when I was talking about this. I think as of last year, some months ago, I was emphasizing on this whole, I am not in support of you running away from the country, the continent. I'm not in support of you leaving your various countries in the continent, that you're going to look for a better life. This is it. Because even those who are there, there will be a time that all the countries outside, since Africa have opened their eyes, they were allowing you there because we were stupid. They were allowing you there because we were fools. The moment we realize our place and our position, do you think they are going to still leave you there if you are of African descent? They will make your life a living hell. And if you do not have a stand in the continent, you don't have a stand where you are, tell me, will your life not be miserable? This is where there is need to build Al-Kebulan together. Because at this point now, where they've started like this, like they are beginning to show others the trends to follow. They're beginning to make your life miserable for you. The only way out for the continent right now is to unite, all right, with same purpose. Why are we uniting? Because we want to survive as a continent. We want to regain back our lost glory. Because we were not like this from ages past. And when we unite with one mind, one voice, one heart, and we love ourselves genuinely, and we begin to develop what we have within us as a continent of Al-Kebulan, do you think there's anything that will be too hard that we wouldn't cross? We begin to strengthen our borders against external bodies, unlike what we were doing before, opening our borders for those of European descent and closing it to those of African descent within Al-Kebulan. We were doing that. But right now we should see that a brother from Senegal, a brother from Ghana, a brother from Congo, a brother from Niger. We are together. There is no one who is coming to destroy you. We are one. And then we begin to see that, oh, the real enemy is the other one. Because they have made us, no, they turned us against ourselves in the way that they make you feel that your brother is your enemy. They give reasons why borders in Al-Kebulan should be tightened against Africans. All right? They tell you, hold your border against these people coming from Mali. Oh, they are thieves. And you do that. But their type comes, they don't need visa, they don't need passport, their face alone is enough. You say, oh, welcome, you smile, you open your hand and welcome them. But when your fellow one who look like you is coming, you do the opposite because that's what they've told you, that they are the enemies. They tell you your brother is the enemy and you hold your borders against your brother and tell you that they are your friends and you open your borders to them. And that is why our problem in Africa keep lingering, because we keep allowing the enemy to dine with us. And we are not opening our eyes to see who the real enemy is. Until we begin to see beyond, your majesties. Until we begin to love ourselves as we should, your majesties. Until we begin to realize that nobody got our backs except we ourselves, then nothing will change in the African reality. There is nobody out there, there's no country outside of Al-Kebulan that love Al-Kebulans or those of African descent. There's no country out there except the continent itself that birthed these people, that birthed us. There is no country outside. There is no Europe. There's no America. There's no Canada. There's no country or continent outside that love those of African descent than Africa itself. There is none. It is high time we realize this. All right? It's high time we realize this and inherit our inheritance, what is rightfully ours. Take hold of our possession by the hand. They will make it difficult for us, but we are going to crush and pass. Because doing all these things is making things difficult. But it's no fault of theirs. It's our own fault. It's our own fault. Because I think it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Our waking up from our slumber has been long overdue. It's now or never. It's now or never. Whatever they do, we will still rise. We will still conquer. We will still get to the top we should get to as the African continent. What do you think? Leave your comment and thought there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others. Stay safe. Stay positive. Always, your majesties. Bye for now.